everybody. Welcome to The Kids Side, a show where kids get to provide their side of every argument. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the ugly truth of screens. This is an issue many kids and parents disagree on for many reasons, as you will soon see.
Hello, and welcome back to our podcast. Today, we will be talking about screens, and should kids and parents have the same amount of screen time. Now, personally, I think that it should be quite even, but still, they are parents and have more things to do and more important things to do than us kids. What do you think?
I'd say I would agree with you. Adults have very valid reasons to use screens more. Children usually use them for more entertainment and fun, but that's important in life. But adults also support the family with work, and then they're rewarded with money and therefore can help us. But then at the same time, if you think about it, if a parent lets their kid be on the internet or play video games longer, in the future they have a chance of their child possibly getting into some sort of competition and possibly winning and winning the family a large fortune. So I think that lots of people have mixed feelings on this, but I think that everyone has their own opinions on it, and that parents have good reasons to be on longer, but kids can also have benefits from being on screens.
Personally, I think some kids shouldn't be on their phone and electronics all the time and try to go outside more, because my sibling usually will just be locked up in their room on their phone talking to friends on TikTok, and they don't really go outside anymore. So I do think that some parents might want to restrict a bit of screen time, but again, it is the kid's life.
Another thing that kind of happens to me is I move my body a lot and I do a whole bunch of other stuff other than screen time. And then every now and then, right when I hop on, I feel like my mom has an instinct that I just sat down to use my device. And then she'll call me to clean the dishes and stuff right when I'm super tired and I can't do anything else.
Sometimes kids will get so wrapped up in their phones and stuff that they won't go out and do what they're supposed to do. I personally have been trying to fight that with myself, trying not to do that, and so far it's been a success.
I do know for a fact that screen time and screens have an effect on you, but personally, I think that kids should get slightly more time, but just wear those UV light blocking glasses. That's my solution. Just give them as much time as they want, but get them those glasses.
Some things could, some electronics and video games can really help you. In some cases, at the beginning of COVID, I was homeschooled by some sort of program, and I was using a computer to learn things. But after all of that was finished, I would hop on my device, and my mom said, "You've had too much screen time." But I said it was educational. And now, every time I look up something educational or I look up something to do that doesn't involve screen time, my mom still counts as a screen time.
I also agree with both of you that electronics have helped many people in our evolving the world, but I do feel like occasionally it is going too far, and sometimes we do need to slow down and just look at where we're at in the world before we go to somewhere that we don't want to be.
Hi, I'm Fiona. I'm going to be telling you what I think is unfair about screen time. One, I really like this TV show, but my mom thinks it's inappropriate for me because there is a lot of stuff that can scare her little kids, but I think it's cool and fun. The next one is at 8 p.m. I have to get off electronics, but my mom and dad always are on them even past that time. Here's one of my problems with screen time. I want games like Dragon City, but my parents say I can't have them because they have ads. The ads make it fun because they know they'll only give you ads because they know that those are stuff that you want. Plus, my parents get to have whatever they want on their phones, and they are looking at them for half of the day.
Hi, my name is Sky, and I'm going to tell you some things that I think are unfair about my screen time. My mom says that I'm on the computer too much, but my dad is on the computer all day, and Mom doesn't seem to care about how much he's on the computer. I have to get off the computer at 7 o'clock p.m., and my parents are on electronics many hours after. I want a phone. All my friends have phones or tablets, but my parents won't let me have one. They say phones make people have less self-esteem on certain apps, but 2 of my friends with phones have 5 times more self-confidence than me. And yeah, that's what I think is unfair about my screen time, and yeah.
And now for a parent's perspective. Some kids don't get certain content because it has ads. What do you think about that?
Some kids don't get certain content because it has ads. I think that's great because I don't like advertising to children. I like when they are having fun with the game for the purpose of the game and not being manipulated for money.
Some kids think that they should get screens whenever they want because grown-ups do. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's like some grown-ups do put limits on themselves. So I guess there's the idea of some grown-ups put the same limits on their kids that they would put on themselves because they're trying to develop healthy habits in themselves and with their kids. So, I mean, I don't really think it's like just watching screens all the time for anybody, adult or kid, is very healthy. But I guess adults are free to make that choice, whereas kids are not. And I think that makes sense for parents to help kids make good choices about the screens.
That makes sense. In families that have siblings where some are old and some are young, how do you figure out which content is appropriate?
That's a hard one. I think with Leo, he has learned to, which is my oldest, he's 10, he has learned to enjoy some of the younger programs that he remembers watching when he was 5, which is the youngest, Max's age. And he really enjoys some of that stuff. And then Max probably watches a few things that are a little bit too old for him. But if it's something that is definitely not appropriate for Max at 5, we try to separate, and I will do something with Max, and then Leo and his dad will watch something. So they'll go downstairs to a different TV and watch those movies while Max and I watch something fun on Disney. So we kind of separate, or they just kind of watch something that's a little bit out of their age range.
That seems like a really good compromise. Join us next time. Thanks so much and have a great day.